Well, good morning from the very humid back porch office. It's Saturday morning, and we're reading from Acts 16:35 through 40. When it was day, the magistrate sent the police, saying, "Let those men go." And the jailer reported these words to Paul, saying, "The magistrates have sent to let you go. Therefore, come out now and go in peace." But Paul said to them, "They have beaten us publicly, uncondemned, men who are Roman citizens, and have thrown us into prison. And do they now throw us out secretly? No, let them come themselves and take us out." The police reported these words to the magistrates, and they were afraid when they heard that they were Roman citizens. So they came and apologized to them, and they took them out and asked them to leave the city. So they went out of the prison and visited Lydia, and when they had seen the brothers, they encouraged them. Then they departed. I love that little piece because Paul's like, no, we're not going away secretly. You beat us. You didn't have a trial. You put us in prison. We're Roman citizens, and now you want us to go away quietly? It ain't happening. You guys come here. And the magistrates are basically terrified. Citizenship is not like it is in America. You know, if you're born here, you're a citizen. Or if you go through certain steps after you immigrate, you become a citizen. In Rome, only certain people were citizens. You know, natives, I guess, of the city of Rome, perhaps, or some of them, and other people were citizens for various reasons. You could buy your citizenship, you just pay a bunch of money and become a citizen, or you could, I guess, inherit it. But basically, citizenship was a limited affair, and it carried with it some privileges, and one of them was that you wouldn't be thrown in prison and beaten without a trial. And Paul plays that to his advantage every chance he gets, and he does it here wonderfully. So, Paul's not afraid to engage the secular culture on its terms when he can and when he has to. He says, we're Roman citizens. You guys need to come and at least apologize to us in person. Which is to say, I guess, that Paul's no fool. And he's not just going to go along with whatever they tell him, and get away. No, and then I'm sure it says he went to visit Lydia. That probably took some time. And they visited the brothers and encouraged them, and then they left. And so it doesn't mean that they left right away. It doesn't mean that they left that day, or even, it could have been several days. They took their own sweet time. Because you don't treat us like that. We'll show you. Oh, we're leaving, but first we got to go see all these people. And so I think Paul's sort of rubbing it in their face what they've done. Well, Paul will be treated correctly in Philippi after that, for sure. And so the story goes. He's leaving Philippi. He's converted Lydia, who is going to be a major influence on the early church. He's converted the jailer and his whole household, so they're going to be spreading the gospel. We don't know how many others he's converted. They're not named, but he starts a church in Philippi and writes the letter of Philippians to them later, which is a letter in which Paul really pours out his heart and soul. So he's close to these people. He becomes close to these people over time. And I think probably over a subsequent visit, I'd have to check that to be sure. But at any rate, these people are special to Paul. And he enjoys, I think he enjoys this whole episode of sort of sticking it to them. Yeah, you want us to go away? Come here. It's great when you get a chance to do that. We shouldn't always be looking for chances to do that. Sometimes we should just nod and go away quietly. But when you get a chance to do something like that, it's kind of wonderful. I was living in a city in small city in Virginia one time, and the mayor was the 5 or 6 people were on the city council, and this one guy had been elected mayor, and it wasn't really a big deal in that city. It was just sort of his turn to be chairman, and so he was going to be sworn in, I guess, on a certain day. And would I come and say the prayer? So I came and I showed up, and I was wearing a tie and I looked nice, and I showed up and I prayed that the city council would have the wisdom to do what was right for all the citizens. Yeah, why wouldn't you pray that? Well, that didn't go over so well in that little town, and I noticed I was never asked to do anything else in the several years that I lived there. Oh well. I also once stood in the Pentagon in a room full of generals and prayed for peace, and prayed that they would, in their work, seek peace. And there were a lot of them nodding. I think the generals get it. We don't need all this warfare, but nonetheless, sometimes you can kind of be a little subversive, and I think that's exactly what Paul was trying to do here with these local magistrates. Well, excuse me. It's so humid out here I can hardly breathe. You people have a great Saturday, and we will see you Sunday morning in the chapel, and then we'll see you Monday for those of you that only see us here. See you then.